Welcome to another episode of Not That Hard to Homeschool, the podcast for real people so that you can confidently, competently, and yes, even contentedly provide the high school education that is best for your teens and your family. I'm your host, Lisa Nehring from NotThatHardToHomeschool.com.
Self-paced, no prep for you. It's the homeschool math curriculum I wish I'd started with sooner. Try it free today. Just head to ctcmath.com. That's ctcmath.com. You're going to breathe easier. Trust me.
Welcome back to It's Not That Hard to Homeschool podcast. I'm Lisa Nehring, and today I want to get really practical with you. If you're like most parents I talk to, you know that traditional school just doesn't feel like the best fit for a lot of people anymore. Private school is super expensive, but when you start looking at the alternatives, it can be feeling so overwhelming because there are so many options. Microschools, hybrid schools, online academies, co-ops, dual enrollment, dual degree. The list keeps growing. So today we're going to sort through those options one by one and talk about how you can decide what's best for your kids, not just academically, but socially, emotionally, and vocationally. So you ready to dive in? When I ask parents what their top concerns about education are, when I talk to parents about their top concerns, I usually hear one of two things. How do I keep my kids safe and healthy? And how do I prepare them for the future? Both of those questions are tied to education. The challenge is there's no one size fits all anymore. What worked for you as a student doesn't automatically work for your child. And while that can be super intimidating, it's also freeing because you get to craft an educational journey that fits your family's needs and a personalized academic program for each individual child in your family. Let's talk about educational alternatives. I want to go through some common options. First of all, homeschooling, the classic. We've all heard of homeschoolers, right? You're in the driver's seat. You have complete flexibility in curriculum, schedule, teaching style, but it takes a lot of commitment and energy. And honestly, there's so many choices. It's a billion-dollar market, and there's new opportunities and options on the market literally every single month. If you want to find some great curriculum reviews, head on over to the podcast, previous episodes, and go to the blog. We've got lots of curriculum reviews for you to help sort out the many, many great options. And there's some bad ones too. I hate to say it. We feature the good ones. Now, this is a term you might not be super familiar with, and that is microschools. Think of these as tiny houses of education. Small groups of kids, often multi-age, learning together with one or two guides. The pros, it's very personalized and it's very community oriented. The cons, they can vary widely in quality and cost. Now, I know of microschools. I know one that is a farm school. I know the one that is a STEM school. I know one that is a trades and tech school. So microschools can have specific orientations as well. And that's something to really check out as you're looking at microschools in your area. University model schools. These blend homeschooling and traditional schooling. Kids spend part of the week at a school, either 2 days a week at the school and 3 at home, or 3 at the school and 2 at home. It's great for structure and flexibility. It provides community. It usually provides expert instruction, but sometimes it can be as pricey as a private school, and it's limited geographically. If you don't live in an area where there's a UMS, you're out of luck. I think we've all heard of co-ops and learning pods at this point. These are parent-led or teacher-led groups that meet weekly or a few times a week, usually once a week or maybe even twice a week. It's wonderful for community and enrichment, but they usually don't cover all the academics. This is something that I started years and years ago. The co-op that I started in my town is still going strong, like 20 years later, and it's really an enrichment co-op. And so they might do labs, they might do PE, they might do art, things like that. You can find academic co-ops as well. They're usually going to cost a little bit more, and I would really be careful about if they are really covering the amount of work and the rigor of work that you would expect from a middle school or high school program. Now, elementary school, it's so much about enrichment and delight directed. As soon as your kids have language and numeric literacy, you're off to the races. But it gets a little bit more serious as you're entering middle school and high school, because again, You're getting your kids ready for college, university, trades, tech, really how they're going to support themselves as an adult. So you want to make sure that it's going to provide the academics that you're looking for. Now let's talk about dual enrollment. By dual enrollment, I mean that high schoolers can take high school classes at their local high school and high school classes as a homeschooler. So they're dual enrolled in both public and homeschool. That term varies from state to state. That might mean you're enrolled in a college program while you're enrolled in a high school program. I've heard it so many different ways. Dual enrollment is one of those terms that just gets thrown around for a lot of different things. So it's very affordable. And honestly, dual enrollment, if you're talking about college credit dual enrollment, it could even be free in some states like Ohio and Florida. The downsides are like any college or university program, classes might not align with your values or your child's readiness. So I know in many states you have to be at least 16 before you can be dual enrolled in a college program. You have to show academic excellence. You usually have to enroll in the program, so you have to apply and get accepted, that kind of thing. Now, there isn't dual enrollment for private and faith-based programs. It's similar to the dual degree, but it's usually through a private Christian or mission-driven institution. They're often more costly, but possibly better aligned with faith and worldview. Let the buyer beware. No matter what kind of dual enrollment or dual degree program that you're in, you want to make sure that it is affordable. You're going to get a return on the investment, and it is aligned with your values, or you have a way to help your kids navigate all of that. Now, there are so many online academies too, like True North Academy, and these range from self-paced programs like Khan Academy, where you just log on and you do everything on your own, to live online interactive classes like what we offer at True North Academy. These vary widely in the teaching instruction, the assignments and grading, how interactive they are, the class sizes, etc. So you really want to look into online academies and just check out how they're alike and how they're different. Flexibility is often unmatched, but kids do need accountability and good time management to manage it. I know at True North Academy, we have it set up like a university model, so the kids are taking 1 hour of classes per week per class, and then they have assignments and grading throughout the rest of the week. You want to check out the learning management system. You want to check out the privacy of the institution. You want to check out how qualified the teachers are, if the classes are a small group, if they're interactive and dynamic, or if the student is just watching a talking head. Because if that's all they're doing, why pay for a live class? Just go get a self-paced class. So again, online academies vary widely in what they're offering. Dual degree programs, this is one of the most exciting, well, I guess it is an exciting option. This is what we're offering at True North Academy, where students can earn an associate's degree or a college degree while they're earning their high school diploma. So at True North, we're offering a dual degree. Kids are earning a high school, an accredited high school diploma, and an accredited 4-year bachelor degree. It's efficient, it's cost saving, but you have to be intentional and strategic. Kids do need a certain level of maturity, and we provide the path to help them thrive in those programs at True North. So it's a really exciting, cutting edge program. And listen, we get asked all the time, why are colleges and universities willing to partner with an online academy? One college or university is closing per week in the United States. That is a crazy statistic. So colleges and universities see the handwriting on the wall. The baby boom is over, and they need warm bodies. Having a partnership with a program like True North Academy that's academically college prep, they are going to be able to guarantee that it's a solid academic program, and they're going to have students in their program too. Now, as parents, how do you sort through all of this? Let's talk about some practical steps, because again, alternative education is a billion-dollar industry, and there's so much to sort through, right? First of all, I would say clarify your family's goals. Is top priority faith formation? Is it academic rigor? Is it social opportunities, career, college or career? Safety? List your non-negotiables first. What are you most invested in with your kids' academic program? And then number 2, know your child. Do they thrive with structure or with freedom? Are they social butterflies or independent learners? Do they need extra support? Are they gifted? Are they ready to be pushed ahead? You know your kid better than anybody, including probably your kids, because you have time in the world. You understand what it takes to survive and thrive. as a mature adult. And so you can really look at your child and understand, are they going to be going on to college or graduate school? What do I do to get them there? If not, how do I create an amazing program for them to go into other opportunities? What about entrepreneurship? I said it before and I'll say it again. I think everybody should be starting a business in middle school and high school. So at least they get the skills and opportunity to see what that's all about, because the ability to pivot in this really disrupted time where 85% of the jobs are going to be so different in 5 years, our kids have got to have those really practical entrepreneurial skills under their belt. Okay, so number one, clarify your family's goals. Know your child is number two. And number three, be realistic about resources. By resources, I mean time, finances, parental energy. It's okay to admit you need help or that you just want to outsource certain subjects. I mean, there's no shame in that. As a parent, you're just not going to know all subjects, all grades for all kids for all time whenever they're ready for it. We outsourced math, we outsourced foreign language. The things I was good at and enjoyed teaching, we kept in home because I love doing that with my kids. The things I didn't really get excited or energized about, we outsourced as much as possible. Um, for dual degree, AP, honors, etc., you really want to, again, double check the return on the investment. If I do an AP class, if I do a dual degree class, will that transfer, or is this a lot of pressure on my high school student that is not going to garner any extra time or money for them? So be realistic about resources and how you are spending them. Resources like time, finances, parental energy. We all have a limited amount of it, right? And then number four, test and adjust. Education doesn't have to be static, especially when we're doing it at home. That's one of the beautiful things about homeschooling. We have all this time to really personalize it for our family, for what we have to bring to the table, for what our kids really want to do with their life. We can make it so dynamic and we can adjust by the day, by the month, by the year. We can try something for a while, evaluate, and pivot. Again, that very important word. We need to teach our kids flexibility and how to pivot when it's necessary. That's not failing. It means that you're changing direction. It means that you are parenting and educating wisely, right? Can I get an amen? Okay, speaking of wise choices, one of the best decisions I think you can make for your homeschool is outsourcing math. I've talked about this before, and that is why I'm thrilled to partner with CTC Math. CTC offers short, engaging video lessons with interactive practice. Kids can move at their own pace, whether that means catching up or racing ahead. It's personalized. Parents love the progress reports, and kids love the confidence they build. You can try it free. There's a link below. Math doesn't have to be the subject that causes tears at your kitchen table. We love CT Math. I highly recommend you check it out. Here's the bottom line, parents. You do have options. You don't have to settle for what feels unsafe, outdated, or misaligned with your family values. Yes, it can feel overwhelming at first to say, okay, I'm going to take on the academic education and training of my kids so that they can go out into the world as a young adult and support themselves vocationally. Oh my gosh, that feels like so overwhelming. And with public or private school, we're outsourcing all of that, right? But when we clarify our goals, when we understand our child, when we assess our resources, we can choose an educational path that truly fits who they are, who our family is, and what we want and hope for them for the future, right? The goal isn't perfection. The goal is preparing our kids socially, emotionally, and vocationally for the future that they're going to be living in. Homeschooling in all of its forms, whether that's microschooling, UMS, co-oping, dual degree, there's so many options right now. All of those give you the freedom to create a personalized learning plan that is going to prepare your kids well for the future. Thanks for joining me today on It's Not That Hard to Homeschool. Be sure to check out our sponsor, CTC Math, and share this episode with another parent who's exploring their options. Until next time, I'm Lisa Nehring from It's Not That Hard to Homeschool. I'm cheering you on as you navigate the journey of educating your kids with courage and confidence. I'll talk to you soon.
You've been listening to the It's Not That Hard to Homeschool podcast with Lisa Nehring, sponsored by CTC Math.